This is not the Trump I voted for. He's exactly who you voted for.
Turned on Donald Trump because of his aggressive deportation.
I am a US citizen, but...
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's the Billy Act. Today we are reacting to some really emotional story of Latino voters who supported Donald Trump and now they are deported. This is not about attacking anyone. We are here to look at the fact, feel the pain, and ask some honest questions. Let's dive into it.
Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump, we love you.
A few moments later.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I don't understand. This is not what we voted for. This is exactly what you voted for. No, how can he do this? I've supported him through thick and thin. We told you. No, he promised to only deport the dangerous Latinos, not the good ones. You're being so mean. I'm being mean. We have to fight this together. Oh, now you want to fight together? I didn't think it was going to turn out this way. Haven't you been listening to all his speeches since 2016? Exactly who you voted for. All we want is a better economy. That's all we want. We love this country. Oh God, I can't believe this. My parents were Cuban refugees. And you still voted for him. They came here for a better and safer life. Like every refugee, but that didn't stop you from founding Latinas for Trump.
Policy saying this is not what we voted for. Now, this is Florida State Senator Elena Garcia, who is the founder of Latinas for Trump, and she says that she's upset because his deportation policies include deporting children and separating families and going after people after their civil cases have been dismissed or job sites instead of focusing on criminals. Saying, quote, as a state senator who represents her district and the daughter of Cuban refugees who are now just as American, if not more so, than Stephen Miller, I'm disappointed with these actions. This is not what we voted for. I've always supported Trump. However, this is unacceptable, unquote. Yeah, this is exactly what you voted for. Donald Trump told you who he was. He said he didn't care about you. He only wanted your vote. He said that there would be mothers and children deported, and that would be tough to deal with in the press, but you got to do it. He told you who he was, and you supported him anyways because you were happy when he was going after people you don't like, when he was going after people you perceived as your enemies, and now you're in the find out phase.
I would be lying if I tell anyone that I feel safe in this country at this moment. If I'm ever stopped or pulled over or anything at just the fact that I'm brown, that my skin color is brown, and that I could be labeled as someone without a legal status and someone ripping me away from my kids. I know it's not the same thing as to what other people are going through, but it's honestly something that all of us as Latinos are now having to deal with.
Latinos for Trump leader Hector Concho has just been picked up by ICE and is now in the deportation process to get deported. He's a Cuban national that has rallied to vote for Trump and to get people to vote for Trump. Now he's in the deportation process. It's great to see that y'all really thought just because you voted for Trump that Trump was really gonna look out for every one of y'all. You're just in the same boat as any other immigrant. So understand that. That's what's gonna happen. It's kind of funny actually to see all these different leaders of Proud Boys or Latinos for Trump or any of these guys get taken down by the ridiculous stuff that they do, or one, he thinks that he's going to be excluded from getting deported because he voted for Trump, because he's the leader of the Latinos for Trump. Just sad. But that's what they do. They use you for your vote, then throw you off the boat.
This is the young lady whose father is terminally ill, but he's been detained by ICE and is going to be deported. His request for compassionate release has been denied. However, she voted for Trump, and she posted this apology video explaining why she voted the way that she did and how she now has learned that she was wrong for feeling that way. Originally, when people learned that she voted for Trump after she posted the GoFundMe for her dad, her defense was, well, I wasn't paying attention to what he said about immigration. I was only paying attention to what happened with RFK, and I believed in his Make America Healthier policies. However, in this video, she says that she reflected deeply and asked herself, why did you really vote for Trump? And she came to the realization that it was because of her own internalized racism and internalized anti-Blackness. Specifically, she said, it wasn't just one decision that I made, but it was an accumulation of decisions that have happened over time. She went back to explaining that when she had her first child, she didn't even want to teach that child Spanish, that living in South Florida, that she had come to believe that she was one of them, that she was not actually an immigrant, that she had assimilated into being white, or the child of immigrants, rather. And she also said that being around so many Republicans, that she had come into this normalization of cruelty, which I found very interesting. So you know that it was being cruel to other families to vote the way that it was, but there was a normalization around that kind of cruelty because it was people who weren't you. So my friend Michelle talks about this idea that we were all outside when the reign of white supremacy came down, that everyone is affected by white supremacy, and that's why we end up having internalized racism, and that's why even people who look like me, we have to do our own work to make sure that we're not being anti-Black. That's the same reckoning that we need with other POC communities right now. It's the same thing that I was talking about when I said, if you're Black, you are going to be working for the liberation of people who are anti-Black, who are also sexist, who are so homophobic, who are so many other things that are detrimental to many of our identities. But this is exactly the reckoning that we need. And so while I understand that people are continuing to bash her in the comments for the decision that she made, I think that her coming back to the post after doing that work in herself, and there's more work to go. Like, it's not done. She's not finished. I looked at some of her other posts. She's still like posting for Coke. Girl, you're Mexican. But there's still other work that has to be done. But I do think this is the first and very vital step for her to not lash out at people who are criticizing her, but to instead go internal and say, what did I do and why did I do?
Tough immigration law just isn't working out. Most immigration workers left, so this farmer hired Americans. Problem is, he says, most show up late, work slower, and are ready to head home after lunch. Some even quit after just one day out in the field. And farmers say many Americans are not physically fit and simply don't work fast enough.
Many of our local farmers are dependent on immigrant labor to pick their crops every day. And that's the produce you and I are buying in the grocery store. But many of the men I spoke with agree that immigrants need to be legalized in some form or fashion. Several of the farmers I spoke with today off camera say the inconsistency of the immigration law is already hitting their business. They told me workers are simply moving to states who do not have immigration laws, and they say that could jeopardize farming.
I don't want to hear your cries. I don't want to hear your complaining. I don't want to hear your coulda, shoulda, wouldas, because I don't feel no ways tired. I don't want to hear this is not what I voted for. This is exactly what you voted for. That man let you know time and time again that he don't fool up with Black and brown people. And it's sad because you yearning so bad to have proximity to whiteness made you turn a blind eye to the disrespect, made you feel like you were bigger than the program, made you feel like all the insults that he spewed against your people didn't apply to you. So now y'all want to act shocked and appalled because he done called the National Guard, everybody and they mama, to scrape you and your family members off the floor of LA. No better for you.
That is really painful to watch. You can see the fear in their faces. No one deserves to live like this. Some of these families have been here for decades, working hard, building community, and now they are being told they have no place to stay. Let's talk about this. A lot of Latino voters, especially in the place of Florida and Texas, voted for Trump, hoping he brings strength to the economy or fighting for socialism. That hurt. Imagine voting someone thinking you are protecting your family and now you are getting deportation letters. This is not just politics. Sometimes we vote with hope and we don't realize the consequences until they hit home. I'm not here to say they deserve it. No one deserves that. But it is fair to ask where they misled. Did fear or misinformation play a role in their vote? If you are watching this and you have ever felt regret over your vote, it's okay. Everyone makes decisions based on what they know at the time. What matters now is what we do next. Speak out, vote informed, and support policy that keep families together, not tear them apart. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's keep it respectful. This is about learning, not blaming.